Hi, and welcome to Josh and Tim Talk Sports NFL Prediction Show Week 16. I'm Tim Shire.
I'm Josh Dome.
Our guest, Chuck Kolchak, my broadcast partner. We may reunite at that tournament.
Possibly.
And Tommy Shire. We'll get right to it. We got the standings from last week. Josh went 13-3. Tommy and Chuck went 11-5. I went 10-6, and Tony went 9-7. So
didn't Josh get really lucky towards the end, or that damn Raiders
the Raiders-Patriots game
helped you?
Yeah,
That was bullshit.
come on.
I took the Raiders.
I think you and I were the ones. That
I
picked
think the ending was crap.
It's crazy.
That's what the Patriots.
Someone should have been fired from that.
Ooh, I'll tell you, or cut.
Or cut, yes.
So we got the overall standings now. Chuck and Josh are tied, 160-89-2.
I'm back, baby.
Tommy is 150-99-2.
3 weeks to go.
Oh, yeah. And more.
143-106-2 is me. Tony is 141-110-2, and the guest is 99-71-2. They don't pick every week.
Yeah.
So, but I just wanted to, I feel like, some people feel like they're amazing because they go 13-3, things like that.
Uh-huh.
I would like to point out that
Yeah.
you can also slump for an entire season.
Yes.
I was looking back on some old predictions from 2011. We used to pick on the Sentinel. We used to pick on the Sentinel. Tommy picked when he was that age too, and he didn't do bad.
Pick the Browns to lose every time.
So, 2011 weeks 7, 9, and 13. This person who's in fourth place, who has not had a good year, went 16-0 all 3 of those weeks. So it is possible for someone who struggles
Yeah.
to have done well at one time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course.
And
You're never out of it, Tim.
So-
You're never out
The
of it.
NFL, I'll say that the NFL is
Yeah,
more
yeah, really.
competitive now than it was then.
You
I
go,
think.
yeah, I think you're right. I think you're
I
right.
think there's more good teams now.
Yeah, there's a, as Troy Aikman says it all the time, there is a small gap between that 1-12-1 team and the team that is 13-1 or 14-1.
Absolutely.
The gap is not huge. He says it all the time. So I tend to believe Troy Aikman. He might know something.
Yeah.
His
Couple
partner
Super
had-
Bowls, Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he was pretty good. He was
Yeah.
pretty good.
The only bad thing is he played for Jerry
Dallas.
Jones.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen him play for somebody else. But so here we go. We got tonight's game, which will probably be a pretty good game.
I think so.
So Jaguars at Jets at MetLife Stadium, a place I hear is not that nice.
It's going to be
I've talked
weather today.
I've talked to some people that have been to a lot of NFL stadiums.
Yeah.
And I've thought, okay, First Energy's not that nice. I guess MetLife is makes First Energy look like a palace, from what I understand. So, we got Jaguars at Jets. And what do you got, Chuck?
Well, believe it or not, this was my last pick of the day when I was going through my teams. And as I normally do, when I went with the home team, I took the Jets, but I'm not real confident about my pick.
Yeah, what do you got, Josh?
My Jets let me down last week, but they're not going to let me down this week. I got the Jets.
Okay. Well, your favorite quarterback's playing, so.
Oh, well, then I have nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
All right.
Tommy?
I got the Jaguars. Jets are on the downfall.
Well, I think so. But my numbers
Say the Jets.
showed me the Jets. And you know I didn't
The
want
what?
to do that.
What are they,
The
Tim?
Jets. Jets. Yeah.
They are on a plummet.
Thank you for prompting me there, Josh. So, yeah, I don't know. And Tony, pick, let me see. I had his picks up in my
No,
Now they're
the
gone.
Jets.
There we go.
I bet.
Tony picked the Jaguars.
Oh, what?
So Tommy,
What
you're,
did I tell you?
That one goes
Tommy,
either
you're
way.
in bad company there.
58% of the country picked the
Our,
Jaguars.
our technical producer, Tony Mark Throckmorton, had to work tonight. So he's
And
not-
he broke the streak.
he did. He's been here several weeks in a row.
Yeah.
More of the country did pick the Jaguars. So I don't think
I'm
that's
sure they
surprising
did.
pick by him.
So, let's get to the next game.
Yeah.
Yeah, 58% picked the Jaguars. Buffalo at Chicago. Chuck.
Buffalo.
Yeah. Josh.
You know, Buffalo.
Tommy.
Buffalo. Yeah.
Yeah. Buffalo. That was 16.
I wouldn't be
confidence
surprised.
points. No, but I just
You
can't.
never know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Justin Fields last week. Did you see that run?
Yeah, he's
Good
good.
boy.
So then we got
Tony Throckmorton.
I wonder what he went with.
Tony went with
Gotta be the Bills.
The Bills.
the Bills.
Yeah.
Yes.
He always picks.
So then
better
we
than
got
Zion.
Texans at the Titans. What do you got, Chuck?
Well, they've lost 4 in a row.
The Titans, yeah.
Houston's been playing better, but I still went with the Titans. I think Derrick Henry's going to rush for 200 yards.
Yeah.
He's really good against them usually.
What about you, Josh?
I got the Titans.
Yeah. Tommy?
I have the Titans, and he averages something like 195
It's-
against the Texans.
It's
So
huge.
Yeah.
in his career, it's just his team. He's
Yeah. It's
People
it's
think he's the best
unfortunately
man. Because of it.
Tannehill's done for
it's
the year.
unfortunately similar. The
Shucks.
Titans kind of do. Oh, he is done for the year.
Done for the year.
Oh wow. It's
the other guy's probably better.
unfortunately
He will.
for the Houston fans, it's similar to what the Ravens did for a long time to the Browns. They got to have this team that left
The
come
Steelers.
in and no Steelers don't
But
matter.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, come in and beat the crap out of them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with the Titans also, even though Long Neck Dave is playing again.
Long Neck Dave is playing.
I
Played pretty
and
well
I love
last
Lovie
week, didn't he?
Smith. But
He always plays better than these other guys.
almost, that other guy, that Allen was horrible.
was
Kyle
bad.
Allen.
Kyle Allen's all.
Wow, was he bad?
He's bad.
Bad.
Against the
Beat
Browns?
if Long Neck
He
played.
looked like he was. Wow, he was bad. Like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
Shouldn't be in the NFL. It looked like.
Oh, it was terrible. So next we got Seattle at Kansas City. What do you got, Chuck?
I took the highest offensive category in the league. They rank 1 in 4 different categories. I'm going to go with Kansas City.
Okay. Yeah. What do you got, Josh?
This may be my shocker of the week, but I'm going with the Chiefs.
Oh, okay.
I got you thinking for a second.
Wow, Tommy.
I'm gonna go with the Chiefs also.
And I'm gonna go with Mahomes and the Chiefs.
You get all of them today, too.
It's his homie.
I heard that because they're playing a team that's not very good, his personal assistant that's in the commercials, he washed the practice jersey
Well, that's
after
very
they
nice.
knocked the girl out.
Ah.
It smelled so bad. He was. So the
Ah.
Chiefs are gonna win.
What about our friend Tony?
Tony picked the Chiefs. He spelled it wrong. He did. He must have been typing fast. He can't.
Yeah.
He's just dumb. He spelled it
Yeah.
wrong.
You know
He
what
probably
though?
got salty after
Yeah,
you
but
sent
you-
him the text.
Oh.
Tony, where's your picks?
Oh, maybe. You know what though? I have trouble with the I before E. I do. A lot of times when I'm writing
I
stories,
before E.
except after C, but that's not true. There are other exceptions too.
I don't really
So-
care. I don't care
So I
if I
just,
spell something
I
right.
just,
I
I'm
don't
just
either.
defending
That's
it.
why I have a computer and a phone.
Yeah.
Spell
Yep.
check is
Yeah.
my friend.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
me too. Oh, it's good. I like it. And the Microsoft Word spell check has gotten so much better.
Or I got my wife.
Yeah.
Ooh,
she-
yeah. spell checks
women
for
know
me.
how to spell.
Yeah. So let's move on to the Giants at the Vikings. What do you got, Chuck?
Well, the Vikings are on a heck of a high this week, setting NFL records.
Yeah.
And I'm going to stick with the Vikings.
Okay.
Giants are they're done.
I think they're
The Giants are done.
Yeah. Josh.
I am going to go with a team who is going to help me out a lot in fantasy this week, and a team who is the better team, and that is the Vikings.
How many leagues are you alive in, Josh?
Huh?
How many leagues are you alive in? Because the playoffs started.
I'm alive in
In a lot of them.
In
I know the defense league hasn't started. It's the last
yeah,
week.
so I'm alive in
And I'm gonna win.
4 or 5 out of 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm alive in 4 out of 5. The defense league, it's the first year ever I'm not going to make the playoffs.
I surely hope I make those playoffs.
You're not gonna.
defend my title.
Because I'm gonna win this week, and you're
So-
not gonna have a chance once I win.
Who are you playing?
I'm
Rock
not-
shot.
But I think the tiebreaker, you have like 200 more points.
He has more
I
points,
think.
yeah.
Yeah. So, all right.
But I have more
So
wins,
you
so.
pick the Vikings. Who do you pick, Tom?
The Vikings, could we guess?
The Okay, and I'm going to pick the Vikings
How about
too.
Tony?
I'm
Sure.
gonna.
just
I go
wondering.
before Tony.
I just
Yeah.
wonder what Tony picked.
Tony is not on the air.
No, I
Yeah.
just feel like he picked
He's
somebody
behind
rare
the camera,
here.
and he's in last. Okay.
I don't even think we
There's
should
a
say
reason
his
why.
pick.
There's a reason why we don't put Tony on the camera.
I don't think we should even
All right.
say
I
his pick.
tell him that all the time.
No, that's why. You know, you got to earn your spot here.
Yeah.
I say if you're not here,
Especially
He's
now.
not even
Just
here.
because you
Say if he's
bowl
not
good
here.
doesn't mean, you know.
if he's not here, his pick shouldn't be said.
So he picked the Giants.
Yeah.
Is anyone stunned by this?
He picked the Giants.
He did, of course. He did.
He basically doesn't even have a chance to get out of last.
No,
So he
may
should
as
just
well.
be making
Well, he's
the
only
logical.
2 games behind me, so he has a chance.
Well,
He has a chance, because I could, you know, I think I had a 4
History
11.
says this year that
He
you
doesn't
could-
even.
He,
I
might,
could
he
collapse.
does have a chance.
I could
yes,
collapse.
He could.
I could
He
have
doesn't
the
give
advantage.
But ever
himself a
since you went
chance.
to this analytics stuff,
I've
you've done
better.
a little better.
I
yes,
have,
I
yeah.
will say that.
I have. Which is ridiculous. But, okay, let's get to the next one. We got the Cincinnati Bengals, who are unbelievable. What a great team.
On
What a
fire.
great team. How they come
They're
back.
on fire.
They come back against great teams and win. They take advantage of turnovers by great teams. You know,
One of the best teams in
turnovers
the
in
league,
one
They
huh?
half.
kicked their ass.
it was
Second
so
half.
Let's
bad.
say it how it is.
When they were up 17-0, I said to myself, they're losing this game. I knew it couldn't last. So the Bengals are pretty good. They're
Yeah,
playing
they
the
are.
Patriots.
Yeah.
I'm sure that practice was really fun this week in New England after that debacle.
Bill doesn't care anymore.
No, I
I think
didn't.
Bill's giving up.
They could have practiced an extra week. It's not going to help them.
Yeah. So what do you got? I'm thinking you got the
But
Bengals.
I'll take the Bengals.
What do you got, Josh?
I have the Bengals.
Okay. What do you got, Tommy?
I have the Bengals, but if they win out here, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a first round exit.
Oh.
Don't want to get too hot before the playoffs.
Oh. Guess what? I've got the Bengals, but it was the closest one of the week.
Interesting.
It was less than a half point.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I was surprised too. I did it 2 or 3 times on my calculator. Just because I was like, this can't be right.
You couldn't believe it, huh?
No, I'm at my
No.
Cavs game. I'm all distracted. I'm
Oh.
doing them before the game started.
Oh.
And I'm like, I must have done this wrong.
When I picked the
Can't be this close.
When I picked the Bengals over the Browns a few weeks ago, I had said something on a TikTok page, a Browns page, that I said, I know the Bengals are going to win this week, and I was basically like called a Satanist for saying
Of
it.
course. Yeah, I am.
But then I proceeded to go back and let the guy know.
There we go. I mean,
I was right.
Well, then we can thank Tony for that loss.
you kill me. It didn't matter how the Bengals played. It was just
You
because
said
Tony
you picked the
picked it.
Bengals?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did
Who
too.
did Tony pick?
Tony picked
I-
the Bengals.
I picked it.
So what do we got? We got next. We got the Lions at the Panthers.
Yeah.
And what do you got, Chuck?
They keep rolling. The Lions.
What do you got, Josh?
I think this is finally a week that me personally I can confidently take those Lions.
What do you got, Tommy?
I love the Lions.
You pick the Lions.
I'm going to pick the Panthers.
Oh, you're
Oh,
I have
oh,
a
he got
feeling
you.
It's going to come
Oh,
to
no,
an end.
no, you know what he wants? Yeah, I know.
What do I want?
Yeah, he wants them, all these teams to get up there so Tampa Bay don't win the division. That's what he wants.
Okay, I didn't
So
even
you're
think
saying
about
he's
that.
got ulterior motives
Yes,
on
he does.
picking.
I didn't even think about that.
Tim,
I just
Tim-
feel like the Lions are going to have it's going to be a week.
So you know who I picked?
You
I'm
took
gonna
Carolina.
say
I
the
picked the
Lions.
coach who said, who says we can't be flexed? Remember when he said that?
Yeah.
And people laughed at him?
Mm-hmm.
Who might get flexed?
Yeah, right.
It would the Lions on Sunday Night Football.
People want to watch
Wouldn't it-
the Lions.
Oh, you
right
know
now.
it. You know it.
They want to watch that.
I think
team.
it's great. I think it is great for the NFL.
That's a great story.
It is great for the NFL. This team that's been. Remember the Cardinals got good when Bruce Arians was their coach, and they got to the Super Bowl. People were happy.
Mm-hmm.
The Cardinals were our whole life. The
They
Cardinals
haven't
were
been
our whole
anything since.
I know they haven't. And people like that kind of stuff. Or the Saints made it.
That happens to teams when Bruce Arians stopped coaching.
Well,
Yeah.
it seems like it, don't it? Okay, let's move on.
Mr.
Tony-
Throckmorton?
Tony picked the Lions, because that was big. He
Okay.
forgot to send me, and then he sent it in the Lions, yeah.
The Lions.
Okay. Falcons at the Ravens. What do you got?
I can't say it.
Well, you could just
I know.
say
I hate that
Or
I'm
you
gonna.
could just say
I hate that I'm rooting for them.
a
this
team
week.
that wears purple.
I know. Ravens. What do you got, Josh?
All right. I'm gonna give you a hint. It's a bird. Okay.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Really taking a leap there, Josh.
Wow, he's just going. Whoa.
Safe pick. I'm gonna go for the Ravens.
Ravens.
Yeah.
Sadly, I'm gonna have to pick the Crows.
The Ravens.
The same thing as a crow.
Okay.
Pretty
I don't
much.
know. I'm not a bird
Bird guy
expert.
Edgar Allan Poe type stuff.
Even though I did tell the guy at Cardinal I was.
Watch
Or at
Wednesday if you
Brookside.
haven't.
I'm picking the Ravens too. My numbers showed it. Plus, I hope they win. Oh God, did I just say that?
Come
I
on!
just said that. Oh God. I always said the only time I would ever root for the Ravens was if it helped Tampa Bay. And this,
Yeah.
because they suck and they can't win themselves. So
They're gonna
everybody
win,
else
so it
will
doesn't
lose.
matter.
Okay, so
Tony.
we got Tony. He picked the Falcons.
He doesn't care anymore. he
No,
doesn't.
he always did that.
He
So I don't
doesn't
know
give himself a chance to get out of last.
he
He
doesn't.
purposely puts himself in last.
I had a 4-11 week. You'd think he could have pulled way ahead of me, and he didn't do it.
That's because
See-
he was probably 5 and 10.
Tim, if you really think about it, Tim, he goes last, right? He picks last. Like he sees what everyone else can pick. So
When he's
he
here,
can just
he-
make a
yeah, I know.
smart pick.
I know.
And he has to realize
Hey, what
that his pattern
You know
is
what?
clearly putting
Think
him
of
in
that.
Tony's
last.
not here, right?
This is what he should do.
Yeah,
He
wow.
always
He
talk about
needs
him
to
more when he's
pick
not.
I
with the
know.
consensus.
You better watch
Pick
this.
with the
Hey,
consensus,
watch
Tony.
what you're doing with your hand, will you?
What's that?
What? He's being Italian.
Pick with the consensus, Tony. Okay? That's
Oh,
what
he's
I
over.
do
see what you're saying.
in my PGA golf. What? Oh, that's what I do in my PGA golf fantasy league. Let's stay on track here and stay out of the
Chuck
gutter.
gets you right out of the gutter.
So, but that's what I do in my PJ
For a
fantasy
second,
league.
I was like,
It's so obvious.
I know nothing about it, PGA fantasy golf. So what do?
You get in the league.
I pick what the higher percentage people pick. Those are the golfers I use. So what happens? If they do crappy, everybody else did crappy.
Right.
And what do? I end up in the top 100 out of like 75,000 people. Because I picked with the, you know what I mean? It's not that hard. It's okay, Tony. We're not picking. Look, if we didn't like Tony, we wouldn't pick on him.
Yeah.
Right?
We love Tony.
Yeah, we do.
this hair is
So,
too dark for me right now.
He's a little blue.
we got, after I was insulted,
He's too pale
we've
for
got
black.
We love you too, Tim.
we got the Commanders at the 49ers. Do the 49ers play a road game? Like they've been home like 7 weeks in a
Seems
row
like-
now.
Did you see the snub of the year in the Pro Bowl?
No, what?
How does
Josh Jacobs didn't
No.
make it.
No, who?
Really?
Christian McCaffrey.
how does McCaffrey not make the Pro Bowl?
You see the Brown. So the
Well, you want to
Brown.
explain that? The guy has been unstoppable.
If I had a vote, I wouldn't vote for him because I don't like his dad. But you know,
Well,
This isn't about his dad.
No.
This is about him.
I know it's not. But hey, maybe some other people had that same reasoning. You know, I don't
As
know.
much,
Wow, that's crazy.
I'm
to me.
taking the 49ers.
Yeah. What about you, Josh?
I'm gonna stay on that
That
Purdy
team
train.
that's not that good.
That Purdy train.
Who was it here that said that team wasn't that good? 49ers. Oh, Josh. He's changed his tune though. He's changed
Well,
his tune.
you know what? They've gotten me in the right
Ah,
track.
yeah, it's crazy.
They've gotten me in first place.
Who
Tied
you
with
got,
Chuck,
Tom?
of course.
The 49ers are pretty good.
First
Yeah,
place.
yeah.
Doesn't matter.
You know what?
Tie
though?
or-
We can have it together, baby.
I got the 49ers,
Sure.
but guess
Yeah,
what?
yeah.
It was close. It was close.
Oh, I'm sure it was.
Believe it or not, it was
no,
close,
I
yeah.
believe that it was close.
Dallas?
Tony,
What about our...
Tony. Oh my gosh, I keep forgetting.
Who's
He
Tony
picked
got?
the Niners.
Okay.
And now we got Philadelphia at Dallas.
I think it's gonna be an interesting game.
I think it'll probably be a close game. What do you got, Chuck?
Well, even though Minshew will be starting,
Yeah, that's right. Landscaper Minshew.
My man.
I'm just not a Dallas believer.
Well, I'm
I'm
not
just
a Dallas
not.
believer either. But
I'm going with the Eagles.
what do you got, Josh?
I think this is gonna be a close game. I think it's gonna be a good game. I am a big Gardner Minshew fan. I think he'll put them in a good spot. But I got the Cowboys.
What do you got, Tommy?
I have the Cowboys, and I think by the Eagles losing this week without Hurts, he will win MVP because of it.
Oh, that could be.
Mm.
You know,
It's staged.
my analytics numbers show the Cowboys, and I think it's because they were at home. If I did these numbers
Ah.
against Philadelphia, I give them. What I do is I give the home team one point extra, and I'm adding these points up for each game they've played, both teams. So the Cowboys got 28 extra. If they were in Philadelphia, I think it would go Philadelphia. You know, but I'm gonna go the Cowboys. So
Tony?
Tony picked the Cowboys.
Wow, and he's the one that said the Eagles were going to win out. Remember that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You did say that, didn't you?
So
You change your mind.
here we go with this one.
Especially after
Actually, I
the
want to
Cowboys
save the
lose to
next
Jacksonville.
game. I want to save the next game.
Pathetically.
I want to save that next game to right before the Buccaneers game and the Browns game. Let's get to the
Interesting.
Miami Green Bay.
Okay.
Let's do that. Green Bay at Miami. What do you got, Chuck?
Well, as you guys know, I picked Green Bay to go to the Super Bowl, which isn't looking real
So did
good.
Jeff Trudell.
Isn't looking real good.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's really. I don't
Um,
think it's ever a good idea to pick them.
And I think their playoff bid stops right here.
Mhm.
I take the Dolphins.
Josh, what do you got?
I'm going to go with them Dolphins.
You're gonna go with the Dolphins. Okay, what do you got, Tommy?
I'm gonna go with the Packers. The Dolphins seem to be a little out of water lately.
I thought I raised you better, yes. But okay. Tony's going with the Packers too.
Oh.
I'm going with the Dolphins.
Yeah.
And I'm still, Chuck, are you still sure I can't get a dolphin for my fish tank?
I'm pretty sure.
This one you might.
They
be
just
able to.
don't come small enough.
Oh,
Tim.
that sucks. That would be so cool.
That
Wouldn't it?
would be awesome.
You can get a shark.
Yeah.
You can't get a dolphin.
I can't. That's true. Are they crazy?
Couple different kinds of sharks.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so let's move on to this game. That's probably going to be like the game of the week.
Yeah.
Broncos at Rams.
Mm.
So usually in LA, there's more fans for the other team than there is for the Rams or the Chargers. Will there be anybody there this week for this game? Because, oh my gosh.
Huh.
What do you got, Chuck?
Don't ask me why, but I haven't been a Bronco fan all year, and I'm gonna show
Right.
that. And I took the Rams.
Well, I hope you haven't been a Broncos fan since the 80s.
Never. Especially no.
Yeah.
I took the Rams.
What do you got, Josh?
I think these are two very bad teams,
Oh, yeah.
and I think that it's probably going to be a decent game.
Mm.
But
Well, like 6-3 or something.
yeah, right. I'm going to go with the Broncos.
What do you got, Tommy?
I'm gonna go with the Rams.
All right. Tony has the Rams also.
How about you?
I have the Broncos. The
Good
numbers
pick,
showed
Tim.
the Broncos. I
Really?
Those
got
country,
quite a
let's
margin.
dive.
Quite
Yeah.
a margin. Because the
Really?
Rams' defense is so bad, and their offense is no good.
Mm-mm.
So, all right. So then we got Chargers, Colts. Chargers at the Colts. Jim Irsay, now the head coach, since he fired Jeff Saturday.
Did he?
No,
No.
I just figured he probably
Yeah,
would
what
after
do I
that.
know?
You know.
Yeah.
I'd
Let's
have fired him there. Let the players call the plays.
Jeff Saturday didn't blow that game. I will
No.
say that.
No.
So
They
what
did
do you?
score 3 points.
what do you
on them,
got,
so,
Chuck?
yeah.
The Chargers.
Okay. This is the Phillip Rivers game, if you think about it. What do you got, Josh?
The Chargers.
Yeah. Tommy?
I'm going to pick the Chargers, but would not be surprised if the Colts upset them.
Yeah, it's kind of the same. Yeah. I'm picking the Chargers too. And Tony picked the Chargers also. So, okay, before we get to the Buccaneers game and the Browns game, we got the Raiders at the Steelers. And I think we know it's pretty clear here that, you know, with the rivalry, Cleveland and all, that we really, you know, we don't like the Steelers.
Uh-huh.
But what happened this week is yesterday. It's just tragic.
It's tragic.
You know, they're going to retire his number on the 50th anniversary of the Immaculate Reception. And he passed away, Franco Harris. That's just
I
horrible.
was shocked when I read it at work.
You know, I was telling
Absolutely
Tommy the other day.
shocked.
I was telling Tommy yesterday, and I don't know if you agree, Chuck. I know O.J. Simpson had the 2,000-yard year in '78, but I really think growing up, he was the best running back in the NFL.
Yeah, growing up, I watched a lot of Pittsburgh games because my dad was from Pennsylvania, Uniontown, Pennsylvania, and
That's right. Oh my God.
and
Your dad was from you.
my
So
dad,
was mine.
My dad was from Uniontown, Pennsylvania.
How weird is that?
Yeah.
Oh
Whoa.
my God.
He in Pittsburgh. Now I'm not afraid to say it. You know, that's where he grew up and born. You know,
Yeah.
So Pittsburgh was his team. When
My
he came,
grandpa's team was Pittsburgh.
when he came to Cleveland, he adopted the Browns.
Okay.
But and it's blasphemy to say you can be a Browns fan
Yeah.
and a Pittsburgh fan. But my
Yeah.
dad was,
Yeah.
and there ain't no greater person in the world
Yeah.
than my father.
Well,
So I watched a lot of Pittsburgh, and
he was so good.
and I was very young, but the things that Pittsburgh did back in them days was just sick.
And I always say that you don't hate a player as a kid because they're insignificant. You hate a player because they beat your team. And I couldn't stand him when I was a kid. I couldn't stand Terry Bradshaw. For some reason I like Lynn Swan. I don't know why. But, Mean Joe Green, that guy was the worst human being on earth. Him and Jack Lambert, I
Jack
thought.
Lambert,
You know what I mean? But they weren't. They were actually,
they were all good people.
they were good people.
They were good people.
And Franco Harris, I guess, was like one of the most giving people ever to play in the NFL.
He gave money to Riverside at one time.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Hello.
Something happened. Oh, I think we lost a power source.
Oh,
But
boy.
we're still going here.
We're still going. Thank God. All right, we're
So,
still here, baby.
Might want to pick it up a little
Yeah, let's
bit.
pick it
So,
up.
okay.
Here we go.
So now we have the Pittsburgh Raider game. And I don't know if it'll be emotional for the Steelers, because I guess he was very present in their, organization still. But let's go with, what do you got, Chuck? Raiders or Steelers?
Well, I picked this game before the tragic news of Franco Harris. I did pick the Raiders, but obviously I won't be surprised, and believe it or not, I expect the Steelers to win, but I picked the Raiders, so I'm going to stick with who I picked.
What about you, Josh?
You know, I think, to me, this is up there with maybe the hardest pick of the week. I think because, the Raiders, they didn't win a good game, but they won. They're coming off a little mini high.
They had the best finish. That was the best finish of the year, I thought.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, they're coming off their little high, Steelers, I think the Steelers are going to play really hard. So I think it's going to be a good game, but I'm going to go with the Raiders.
What about you, Tommy?
I was gonna pick the Raiders until I saw about that news. And I just feel like, I don't know, if he was really, big in their organization still, and there's no way the Steelers lose. That's just how they are. They're not gonna lose.
Yeah, I
They're-
can't argue with that.
I hate to say, because
And they win every week. The Browns do.
growing up being, I grew up being a Browns fan, and not, hating the Steelers. But they're like this kind of family thing, their organization.
Mm-hmm.
And one of their family members died.
Mhm.
So they're going to come out and they're going to do what they do. But I picked the Raiders too, just because that's my numbers show.
I would make a smart remark about a family thing with Pittsburgh people, but we're not gonna.
Not
That's
this
probably
week.
smart.
Not this week.
Yeah, not this week.
Not this week.
What's Tony got, Tim?
Yeah.
Tony has the
Steelers.
Raiders.
Oh.
Yeah. So let's go Buccaneers Cardinals. We don't have to spend a lot of time
No,
on
you
this
don't
because we
do
want to
that.
get done. But what do you have, Chuck?
Well, Tom Brady needs to win, and I went with Tampa Bay.
Okay. What do you got, Josh?
I just can't see the Cardinals winning this game. I'm going to go with the Buccaneers.
You got Tommy.
I'm gonna pick the Buccaneers, and if the Buccaneers lose this week, I don't know what to tell you.
Well,
Yeah.
So
if they lose this week, they don't deserve to be.
I don't know what to tell you. So Buccaneers
So-
better win.
That's,
Yeah,
well, that's
that's
what it-
pretty
that's
much
what it
right.
comes
I'm
down
picking
to.
the Buccaneers with 14 conference points. So
They better win. Is
and-
it?
Yeah.
Or they're
and Tony
they could
picked
get in
the
the
Buccaneers.
playoffs, but it wouldn't go well.
Tony picked the Buccaneers too.
All right.
I just, if they limit the turnovers to maybe 3 this week.
Well,
They
3.5
should win. Yeah.
instead of 6 and 1.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we got the Browns and Saints. Saints at Browns. And what do you got, Josh?
Chuck? Or are you going with me the first this time?
Oh, I'm
Chuck,
sorry, Chuck.
usually,
I'm
right?
sorry, Chuck.
Yeah.
Well, I am going with the Browns.
Sound
I
very
think
surprised.
in 0-degree weather Saturday, I think the Browns are gonna see how Deshaun Watson plays in the.
He's never played in it either, yes.
But
Yeah, the Saints playing
I
it
believe
down
He's
they're
never
gonna,
played below 50, I heard.
they're
the
gonna
other
keep
day.
it on the
Yeah.
ground.
Oh, yeah.
Last week he did.
Yeah.
I think
But
he
the
might have
Browns-
been at the start, though.
I'm pretty confident Browns are gonna win this game.
All right. What do you got, Josh?
I think the Browns, they're not going to make the playoffs, but I think they're going to finish the year with some dignity. I think they're going to win this game.
What do you got, Tommy?
I think the Browns are going to win. Another reason I picked the Steelers, like I said, is they seem to win the same week, except for when the Browns beat them, of course. Anyway, I picked the Browns, and yes, Deshaun Watson has not played in this cold weather like this. That is a true
Maybe it was
statement.
40. I don't
But the
know.
rest of the Browns team has played in
Yeah.
cold weather,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the New Orleans Saints are a dome team.
And you know what? They've
Uh-huh.
played in cold weather, too.
They are a dome
They're-
team
they've had
in the
players that
NFC
have.
South.
Yeah. So with that being said, I'm going with the Browns. The numbers showed it. So that's what I'm going to
What
go
if he
with.
said, "I'm going with the Browns because the Saints are a dome team"? What if he said that after just?
No, the only thing that bothers me this week is, and I told you this, Tommy, the trash-talking Browns fans. Not all of them.
Like every organization.
Not all of them. But the
Right.
ones that will attack me on Twitter for not agreeing with them.
Like every
They're tough
organization.
guys. They're tough guys.
Like
Why-
every
why-
organization.
No, listen.
Yes, I'm
No.
telling you.
Would you let me
All
get
the
to,
time.
Would you let me get to my
Yeah,
point?
yeah. I'm just saying.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was 13 in 1981 on January 4th. I was a kid, a skinny kid, who got cold easy because I was skinny. I sat out in Red Right 88. Froze my butt off.
Negative 34.
Guess what I did? I sat out there and watched the game. We didn't leave. Why are these tough-talking Browns fans selling their tickets? Because it's going to be too cold?
Yeah, that's what I would do. I just think
Maybe
it's
you're
stupid.
not so tough.
I just ain't dumb.
Then I ain't tough because I would never
I'm
sit in a
just
game
fucking
and
But you didn't have
Well,
tickets, and you don't talk trash to
No,
each other.
I don't.
I'm just
Yeah.
stupid. I wouldn't. I mean, it's just stupid to sit out
Yeah,
there.
it makes no sense to sit out there and game.
I was gonna
and
go
I
to
love
the
my
game,
Hey,
sports.
actually.
I
I
got
was
2
at-
days of school off. I didn't go
Let
to
me,
school.
I was
Wednesday.
actually gonna
Yeah,
go to
because
the
you
game.
were so cold when you got home, you couldn't go to school for
But
2
I
days.
still went.
You couldn't go to school
I still
for
went.
2
A lot of hot
days.
chocolate that
I
when you
still
got
went.
home.
So these, I don't even remember. It was like
He had hot
fall.
poplet.
I remember wearing knit
He likes
gloves. Knit gloves. And I think before the game even started, my hands were cold. Like, this isn't going to be good.
That's the day his hair went away.
Oh my gosh.
It
was
froze
like-
off.
And then they ended up losing.
Even though he shaves his head.
And then they ended up losing right in front of me. Because we were in the bleachers. It happened right in front of me. Like, are you kidding me?
Those Browns are gone.
I know. Those
Another
were-
reason
those
you
were-
don't sit out.
Those
like-
were those were Browns I like to
There you go.
like to be a fan of too.
Another reason you don't sit negative is because they have a 0.7 chance to make the playoffs.
Yeah. I'm
They
sure.
were they were the #1 seed in
Sorry,
the AFC that year.
0.07.
I'm sure it's a little bit easier to pick the Browns this week because they're playing them Saints.
The Saints are
Well, they're
kinda
playing a
Jekyll
dome
and Hyde.
team, so
Oh, that doesn't matter.
I wonder if Nassan Wallace is going.
The Vikings played a dome team
Not
last
to
week and
use
beat
your
them.
government name.
Right.
How about that, Tommy?
What?
The Vikings played a dome team last week and beat them.
Because they're a dome team.
I'm just saying, you know.
I wish the Browns were a dome team.
I wonder how many dome
I-
teams have won Super Bowl.
Cleveland, the Guardians need to
Thanks.
be a damn dome team.
Yeah, I
They
know.
might be the only one.
An
You know, I
open
don't
dome,
know.
like one that opens. That would be nice.
So, but I think that's it. I think that's it for
gonna
tonight.
do it.
Everybody have a nice Christmas or Hanukkah,
Agreed. Merry
rock,
Christmas.
rock,
Happy
rock.
Hanukkah to
And,
all those.
Yep.
and we'll see you
Safe
before the New
travels.
Year. We'll have one more week before the New Year, and
That'll
everybody
involve-
stay warm.
It's going to get cold
See,
It's
I
getting
tomorrow.
cold.
picks.
And so stay warm, and we'll see you next week.
And as always,
Go Browns.
go Browns.
Right.
And I'm gonna say, please don't turn the ball over.
All right.